Good evening and welcome back to another live stream edition of Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. In tonight's video, we will be, or in tonight's live stream presentation, we will be breaking down this super moon, full super moon in Gemini. This is the last full moon of the year, y'all. This is the last full moon of calendar year 2025, y'all. We made it. We made it. Okay. We've been through 12 full moons this year. This is the 12th and final full moon of the year 2025, y'all. What a year it's been. What a year it has been. So, as I'm waiting for some people to join, I am going to get these timestamps set up for you all. You know, I like to do the timestamps. What's up, Karen? Thank you for joining tonight. Y'all know I like to do the timestamps for you all when you're doing these new moon and super moon videos. Bernadette, thank you for joining, my friend. Thank you. Thank you all for being here tonight. So I'll be working on getting these timestamps set up. I'm going to play some music for you all. And we're going to jump right in tonight because y'all have seen this party. Y'all have been in this party 11 times this year, okay? Y'all have been with me 11 times in these new moons. What's up, Tora Girl? Thank you for joining, Tora Girl. Tora Girl almost checked up on you today. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, Tora Girl ain't been in the house in a minute. Let me see what's going on with Tora Girl. So Tora Girl, thank you for being here tonight. It's so good to see your name in the chat. So good to see you. Yeah, y'all. So y'all know the vibes. We're gonna run through it tonight. And this is the next to last moon video I'll be doing, y'all, period. I don't know if I'll say period, but again, I have gone through all of them. And one of the things I'll be working on this month is I will be setting up a playlist of new moon and full moon videos. I'll probably separate them. I'll do a playlist for full moon videos and then a playlist for super moon, new moon, not super moon. Tonight's a super moon. And it is a full, technically we're in that full moon shadow phase. We're not at 100% illumination. I checked my moon app earlier and it's about at 98%. So the moon right now is in Taurus. It's moving into Gemini, but tomorrow is the peak of the full moon in Gemini. So then we got a new moon in Sagittarius in 2 weeks. And then y'all, it'll be calendar year 2026. All right. So yeah, so again, back on the playlist thing, I think what I'll do is I'll set up a playlist for full moon videos and you'll be able to go through there and find all of the ones. I might even do a little editing to those live videos or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave them the way they are. And because they are timestamped, so you all can go through as we proceed into the next year. And anything that you don't remember, you can just go in there and you'll be able to find whatever moon cycle that is in and click that video and then go to the timestamp for the house that you have that particular moon sign in. So thank you all for being here again tonight. Let me start some music. What's up? What's up, Queen there? Queen Olivia Juliet. I hadn't seen you in a minute either. Thank you for being here. Tracy Cooper, what is up? Thank you for being here. So let me get this, let me get some music playing for you guys in the background. I'm just going to do a quick cheat sheet so that I can go back at the end and easily I'm going to write the time markers down. And then I'm going to go back and after this video is over and add them up just to make it a little bit easier and get it done fast. Because I want to get these done for you all tonight. So y'all enjoy this royalty-free reggae music while we're waiting for some people to come in. Do me a huge favor and hit that like button as you're coming in. That's going to alert more people and let them know that we're live here and talking about what you can expect to appear in your reality with this new moon in Gemini. Y'all enjoy the music. You're watching Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. Okay, let's see. It looks like I'm doing this the hard way, y'all. I could use copy and paste. Let's do that. 7th. Y'all, I'll be right with you. We're almost in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Look at it. How about that, y'all? Stopped right on the music. Stopped right at the end. Y'all, that's how you move. That's how you move, y'all. That's how you do it. Y'all need do y'all need a little example of how to do it? I just showed you. That's how you do it. Y'all probably like, what are you talking about? Do what? Thank y'all for being here. All right, let me read some more comments here. Let's see. Hello, Queen. Oh, Queen, I didn't know you were Sagittarius. Okay. All right. Well, happy early birthday to you. Happy solar return, Queen. Happy solar return, 12/4. Okay, we got these December. We got December repping in the house, y'all. Yeah, I'm December too. I love December. I love December. Maybe it's because it's the month I was born. I love December people. I do. I don't know what it is. What else we got? Let's see. She said, "Hey Matt, what can you tell me about the full moon on my birthday tomorrow?" And I'm with a Gemini. Okay, all right, cool. You know, Sagittarius and Gemini. So y'all are opposites. Y'all on that same axis. Y'all balance each other out. Okay. All right, thank all of you for birthday wishes. Turning 51, looking good. You don't look it. You do not look it. You don't look it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. You don't look it, Queen. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. All right. Well, I'm about to tell you what you need to know. Hopefully, you know your chart because you will know what house you have Gemini in. Okay, so then that'll allow you to hone it in. But Gemini is also the ruler of the third house. Now, again, let me do this really quick. Let me some housekeeping. Welcome to those of you that are watching this video on demand. And of course, welcome to my live people here. Welcome to my new subscribers and welcome to my returning subscriber family because y'all are family. When you come here second, third time, you family. So thank y'all for coming back. Thank y'all for rocking with me all year long on these moon videos. I greatly appreciate. I just want to take a moment to appreciate each and every one of you that have given me feedback. Y'all, when I started doing this a year ago, I didn't know what to expect, but I get my marching orders from on high. I do. Some people can't jive with that. Some people be like, that sounds a little cliche. No, it's not. I get my marching orders from on high. I get downloads sometimes in the middle of the day. I get downloads at dark 30, and I get an instruction that says, "Hey, I want you to do a video on this, Matt." And I just get up and drop it. I go with it. I don't ask. Sometimes I ask a question. I ain't gonna cap and be like, "You really want me to do that?" I do that sometimes. Okay. Some of y'all know I started a Twin Flame Guidance Tarot channel. Maddie T's Twin Flame Guidance. I'm still thinking about changing that name. I don't know. I might stick with it. I'm thinking about changing it to something that's a little bit more general in case I, venture out and do a little bit more broad stuff. But anyway, that was another example of, you want me to do that? You really want me to do that? Okay, but then again, because y'all know, we talked about Virgo being in the South Node, and with the South Node, y'all, those are things that we should be putting behind us. And what I always say with the South Node with any sign is, what you want to put behind you, keep the high level stuff. What you want to put behind you with the South Node is any of the, the challenge points for those particular signs. And one of those challenge points, one of those Achilles heels for Virgo is caring what people think or say. Everybody's got a little Virgo in them. I don't care if you don't have any planet in a sign, you have a house with that sign in it. Everybody's got all of the signs. So this is how we, and I'm just taking a moment before we get started. This is how we all truly are a reflection of each other. When you talk about somebody, you're really kind of talking about yourself. This is why you got to be careful talking about people sometimes, because guess what? You have a similar energy somewhere. For me, I don't have any planets in Virgo, but I'm an 11th house Virgo. So with the 11th house is about our group memberships, group activity, collective activities versus doing things that are personal. 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. So with a Virgo in the 11th house, one of the challenge points is worrying what people might think or say about you in the greater collective. I know I come on here and I preach to y'all about doing what you do and don't worry about what anybody's got to say or what someone might think or might say about what it is that you do. And yet I still have to overcome those hurdles myself. So I don't never tell y'all to do something that I'm not, that I haven't done myself or that I'm not, dealing with myself. We're all in this thing together, y'all. We are all in this thing together. So I had to get over that. I had to overcome that and say, you know what? If God told me to do it, I'm gonna put a smile on God's face and put a frown on anybody's who doesn't like it. Because I'll never, if I can help it, go the opposite route where I'm gonna make you feel good and go against something that the Most High told me to do. So anyway, I know I took y'all all the way around the block to get you to the house next door. But those of y'all who have watched me for years, y'all know I'm gonna take you on the trip and show you the whole neighborhood. And then I'm gonna bring you to the house next door because that's where the food is at. All right. Anyway, So yeah, I started that other channel. So for those of you who are interested in that, that is Maddie T's Twin Flame Guidance. And now I don't even remember why I was telling y'all that. But anyway, I'm gonna keep it moving. She said, I remember a while ago you wasn't sure about the twin flame. Now look at you today. So very proud of you. Queen, I gotta give you credit. I gotta give credit where credit is due. You were one of the first people pushing me on that. You were pushing me back when I did those first few videos that you can find in a relationship playlist here on my YouTube channel. Queen was hitting me up. She's like, why don't you do some coaching? And I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. And look at me now. So you're right, Queen. You're right. But you know, everything is about due season. Everything is about divine timing. And I've often said, you cannot go out. Why do I keep seeing a little something in my eye here? Um, I keep saying that you cannot go out there and plant a seed in the ground today and expect to get fruit from it tomorrow. It's got to go through a whole process. So everything is about divine timing. I love cucumbers. I could eat cucumber all year round. It's December. I'm not going to go out there and plant a seed in the ground and expect to harvest cucumbers in 90 to 120 days. It's not going to happen. They have to go in the ground when it's planting season, and then they'll be ready when it's time to pluck. So, you know, this is how these things go. You can go around, you can want things to speed up, you can want to do things fast, but nothing can happen before it's divine timing. So that's kind of how that works, family. So anyway, thank you, Queen. So I don't remember why I was telling y'all that story, but anyway, keep in mind this is the next to the last moon video I'll be doing unless I'm otherwise directed by the Most High, by the Holy Spirit. So, but I'm not leaving you all hanging, because you will be able to go into a playlist that I will set up before this year is out. And you can go when January hits and whatever they say, hey, the new moon's going to be in this or the full moon's going to be in that. Y'all can go in there and check it out. But for now, let's bring it back home. And what's interesting, y'all, is that the sign of Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury Day is technically Wednesday. So I didn't plan this. I didn't plan this because Wednesday is Mercury Day. It just so happened to be that way. Okay. I would have done it yesterday had I planned things out differently, but I wasn't even thinking about the day. And it occurred to me about an hour before I came on here that, you know what, maybe this is divinely aligned or cosmically aligned for me to do this. So anyway, y'all, it's I just want to thank each and every one of you all who have rocked with me from day one. And just come on here now. I'm back, y'all. I'm back from the trip around the neighborhood. Y'all hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. I'm back from the trip around the neighborhood. To bring it back home, y'all, I wanted to thank each and every one of you who have been with me all year long, and those, especially to those of you that send me emails, you send me direct messages, and you say, Matt, bro, that new moon video, you talked about the house that I have that sign in. Matt, that full moon video, you talked about the house that I have that sign in. Your delivery and what you said about what activity we might expect to see appear in our lives based on this sign in this house, it was spot on. Y'all don't know what that does for me. You know, y'all, I go at this thing so hard, and I'm gonna try not to get in my Cancer moon here, and then we're gonna proceed on to get on through these Gemini through the houses, okay? So I'm gonna try not to get in my Cancer moon, but you know, y'all know how it is. You start getting up in age a little bit, and you start thinking about, you got memories and things just that you've gone through, and as you look back over your life, you're like, now I see why my elders would, you know, get teary-eyed sometimes when I was a kid, and I'd be looking at them like, why are their eyes watering with what they're talking about? But anyway, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Y'all give me so much encouragement on this channel, and y'all have no idea. Like, I get the op order. Op order is short for operation order. It's just military talk. I was in the military. I get the op order from the spirit realm. I get the op order from the divine, and I roll with it. And I don't never know how it's going to come across. I just try to be the best me that I can. And so when y'all come back and encourage me and tell me, hey, you're doing a good job, y'all, I got to tell y'all, man, shout out to Boss Lady. I normally like to try to keep personal business private, but Boss Lady hit me up a little while ago, and she said, you know what, Matt? She said, kudos to you. You have done this faithfully and tirelessly for 5+ years straight. You just been going at it. You have not let anybody's negative words, anybody's negative talk deter you. You just keep going, and you're doing this faithfully. And God got something for you. God got something for you. Your reward is out there. And y'all, that y'all don't know, man. If y'all see somebody doing something out there, y'all, it is so important for people to feel seen. It is so important to make people feel seen. I try to go out of my way to make people feel seen that go hard too. That go hard. They do a lot of stuff. They don't even see the magnitude of the work that they do with and how their work affects the people around them, just them shining their light and just them trying to be the best them that they can be. And so anytime y'all can help somebody to feel seen and do it authentically. Like there's some people out there that they just blow hot smoke up people's ass just to make them feel good or whatever, or to try to get something out of them. Y'all be authentic. If you see somebody out there going at it, just tell them you appreciate them. If you do. If you don't, just keep it to yourself, or don't tell them. Nobody cares. Okay, but thank you to those of you who give me the encouragement, because it means a lot. It means a lot. I sometimes I'll go back and watch the videos and I'll say, oh, that was good. And then other times I'm a little hypercritical. I'm like, you know what? I could have done that better. Or I said this word when I meant to say that word. Or I stumbled on this word, or I hiccuped there, or whatever. Just little small hypercritical stuff, And again, that some of that comes from me being a Capricorn. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I've got a bunch of cardinal energy in my chart. I'm cardinal at the corners. So, a lot of times when you're in that, when you're created with that leadership energy, you try to be as perfect and as flawless as possible, because you know that when the Most High created you, when the Creator created you to be a leader, you never want to lead somebody astray if you've got purity in your heart and you got love in your heart. So sometimes I'm hypercritical. I've gotten better at it, because I used to be really bad at it about it when I was younger. I was super duper critical. I would shut down. I'd be like, what's wrong with you? I've told y'all a story in here sometimes. I've been like, man, why are you mad? You're in the classroom. Why are you mad? Because, man, I made a 92. Bro, you made a 92 and you mad? They like, man, I made an 84. One person like, I got a 78 on the test and you mad because you got a 92? I'm like, no, my standard is 93 and above. If I don't hit a 93 or above on the test, I'm mad. I feel like I could have done better. I'm not that bad anymore, y'all. But anyway, to bring it back home, thank y'all for all of the encouraging words y'all have given me over the last 5 years. I've been doing this tirelessly, and just, sometimes you don't, sometimes you go, and you don't even realize the body of work that you have put in until you stop and take a look at it, or until somebody comes back and says thank you. I've had people come back and tell me thank you for things that I told them when I was in the Army. Real talk. When I was a teenager in the Army, I've had my boys hit me up that I haven't talked to in years. They said, they used to call me T. I ain't gonna tell my whole nickname, because you always got ops out there watching, taking notes. Yeah, I see y'all. I ain't lost on none of y'all ops out there. Okay. Anyway, they used to be like, T, man, yo, I remember you said something back when we were at Fort Polk, or I remember when you said something when we were in the Dust Bowl out at Fort Irwin, California. You told me blah blah blah. Man, that never left me. That stuck with me. And I'm like, I said that? They're like, yeah. So y'all, listen, you never know the impact that you are having in people's lives. So I'm gonna begin this video like I end them all the time. Y'all be authentic. Y'all be authentic. Stay authentic. If you see somebody doing something, do your best to make them feel seen. Do your best to help them feel seen, because a lot of times people that just especially the earth signs out there that's always going at it. All of the signs do their thing. Fire signs, them too. I see you over there, Queen. My dad is a Sagittarius. I love my fire signs. I didn't quite understand them when I was younger, but now that I'm a little bit more mature, I appreciate the fire signs, because in the same way that the earth signs sometimes are the brakes for the fire signs, are like, yo, pull back, you're moving too fast. Those fire signs are good at, like, okay, what are you waiting for? Let's go. We got something to do. Let's go. Sometimes the earth signs, they're like, we want to be so careful with our steps that we plan everything out. We like, okay, we want to make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's. The fire signs, they're like, man, let's go. We worry about that later. So, man, the beauty of this thing called life, and the beauty of even understanding astrology and personal astrology and natal chart astrology, is that God wired and created all of us uniquely for a unique purpose. And we all work together, just like ether, air, fire, water, and earth. They all work together. So that's what I try to do in here, y'all. I try to foster that synergy, and just let you know that, hey, you know what? If you can agree with somebody, agree with them. If you can't, just keep it moving, okay? You weren't wired to agree with that person. So anyway, y'all, let me get it moving. Thank y'all. Let me read some comments, and we're gonna get started running through these houses, okay? I see his name in there. What's up, Jojo Mac? What's up, brother? What's up? Okay. Who else we got in here? She said, I remember a while ago. Okay, I got that one. That's right, Matt. Was pondering whether to mention this, but it's been put on my mind. If you're a woman up in age, there's a chance you can still get pregnant. Found out it 3 days ago. I am at 50 naturally. Wow. Congratulations to you, Queen. Congratulations. Wow. That is beautiful. That is beautiful energy. we're gonna have to chat offline because I don't want to make this about that TF word. But I'm gonna want to talk to you offline. So we'll talk about it offline. Queen, if you don't have my IG, hit me up on IG. Okay, I'm out there. Matt's D Talford. It's real easy. Matt's D Talford. So hit me up, send me a direct message. Let's chat, Queen. I think we chatted before. It's just been so long that I could probably go through the list and find it. But if you're on IG, hit me up. Hit me up, Queen. Let's chat. Now let's get started, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. And by the way, if you haven't done so already, please tap that like button for me. It's gonna let more people know that we're live here. Okay. This is a very important video because Gemini is all about communication. It's all about learning. Okay. So full moon in Gemini. I know it took me 21 minutes to get here, but we're here. Full moon in Gemini. And again, thank y'all for everything that y'all do. I know a lot of you have told me that you appreciate me being here, but let me tell you something. I couldn't do this without you guys. So thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I love you guys, each and every one of you, from the bottom of my heart. Even the detractors, even the haters, because they keep me sharp. So I even got, believe it or not, I even got love for the haters because they keep me sharp. So now let's see. Tora Girl said, wow, that's amazing. I definitely know this is my grandmother did the same. Wow. See, you can't, y'all gotta, this is why I tell people all the time, tune the matrix out. Tune the matrix out. They are so full of something that rhymes with spit. They so full of something that rhymes with spit. And they create these narratives. And if you believe in their narratives, then they got you. Go within, tap within. Everybody's got a different, everybody comes here to do something different. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Now I'm glad I went live tonight, Queen. That just made my day. That made my whole day. I had a rough day today, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I had a rough day. I have had a rough day today, but we're here. We're here. So thank you. Now I know why I came online tonight. Thank you so much. So, and I wasn't about to let y'all down anyway. I told you I created this announcement last night before I went to bed. It was like 11 something. And I'm like, I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it. So congratulations again. Thank all of y'all that are in here right now. Let's get ready to get this started. Again, Gemini, full moon in Gemini. What are we talking about tonight? Rapid growth through knowledge sharing. We're sharing knowledge already. Y'all see how this stuff works? Do y'all see how it works? A lot of time, the beauty, I know I'm taking another pause, but the beauty of these full moon videos and these new moon videos is we get to see these energies at play real time. And we get to see them by you guys coming on and sharing your testimonies. Y'all know the church I went to back in the day, Pentecostal Holiness. I used to go to a lot of storefront churches and stuff like that where they had the folding metal chairs. A regular part of our service was they would have the devotional service where they have praise teams now. They would typically have two sisters up there singing with the microphone and a tambourine, and they'd have somebody with playing guitar, beating drums, whatever, organ if there was one in there. We didn't have all those fancy electronic keyboards back then, but yeah, and you know, after the devotional service, before the pastor would get up to preach, they would have a testimonial service, and people would go around and stand up and share their testimony. And you know, that was one of the things I did like about church. And I didn't dislike church other than the amount of time that we were in there as a kid. I'm being honest. You know, when you go to them churches, you might be in there. I used to envy my cousins that went to the Baptist church because they would be out of church in like an hour and a half, 90-minute service. And Holiness churches, Pentecostal, we be up in there 3, 4. We be up in there. We get in there 10:30 for Sunday school and be leaving like 4 o'clock. Mad, dreading Sunday coming. But anyway, one of the cool things about it was the testimonial service, because people got up and they shared what the Most High did for them, and that when you hear what the Most High can do for somebody else, it really helps to exercise your faith. It helps you to exercise your inner knowing, because you're like, hey, you know what? If he did that for him, if he did that for her, I know he can do something for me that I'm looking for. So I just wanted to drop that out there. I don't know who that's for. That's for somebody. But again, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, Queen. So now, again, we're seeing full time rapid growth through knowledge sharing. Everybody's on here knowledge sharing right now. Everybody is. Rapid growth through knowledge sharing, learning, information, and communication. That's the beauty of that Gemini energy. Really, that full Gemini and Sagittarius axis. Because it's really, I've heard Sister Myra Moss say this. She is she doesn't say 12 signs. She says there are 6 signs. There are 6 signs, and each of those signs have 2 aspects. I dig what she's saying. I do. Gemini, every Gemini has some Sagittarius in them, and every Sagittarius has some Gemini. Okay, that's kind of how that works. Same with Taurus and Scorpio. Every Scorpio's got a Taurus side that you don't see. Every Taurus has a Scorpio side you don't see. Every Capricorn has a Cancer side you don't see. Every Cancer has a Capricorn side. Y'all tell me any Cancer sons y'all know that ain't in their bag. Every single Cancer son that I know, they are in their bag, but you don't see that side of them because they're so nurturing. Every Capricorn I know has a nurturing side, but they got to show you that cold, stern side because they got to be about that money. But the people closest to them, like, I knew there was a softy in there. That's kind of how that works. So same thing with what is it? Leo and Aquarius. Every Leo got a little Aquarius in them. Every Aquarius got a little Leo in them. Every one, okay. And it shows up at different times. So those are some of the signs. Same with Aries and Libra. Aries is the warrior, but they got that Libra lover in them. Every Aries I know, they love relationships. You just don't see that side of them. And then every Libra I know, you piss them off and you see the Aries come out. So that's kind of how these things work. Virgo and Pisces the same. A lot of Virgos daydream like Pisces, but you don't see that side of them because they're always working. And every Pisces got a little bit of Virgo in them where they pay attention to the details. Okay. So I got a brother who's a Pisces. He's always daydreaming, but he don't miss any details. So it's kind of funny how that works. But anyway, just a little backstory on some astrology there, natal chart astrology. So let's take a look here. Gemini. Gemini is the sign that rules over the third house of communication, knowledge, information, learning, the conscious mind, and short distance travel, as well as dealings with siblings. Also, because it is an air sign that is ruled by Mercury, the house where we have Gemini in our natal charts also tends to be areas of our lives where things can move quickly for us. Y'all know Gemini, Mercury is the fastest moving planet, as well as where we tend to be fast learners and experience rapid growth when we apply our minds to the task at hand. Okay, so we're going to be talking about some of those themes here tonight. So, without further ado, she says, I have Gemini and dating a Gemini. Yeah, you definitely, Gemini. Okay, is that your moon sign? Or you know what? We'll talk. Let me get this thing going so I can get y'all out of here because I could literally talk to y'all all night. And people who know me personally, I've heard a few times people say Matt can be long-winded. I'm a writer. Sorry, it comes with it. Anyway, so I am going to say here, we're going to go ahead and get started with Gemini in the first house. Again, we are talking about what you can expect to see come into your reality with this full moon in Gemini. So y'all pay attention to this, and y'all know what we do. We manifest during the new moons. We set intentions during the new moons. But when the full moon comes in, we express gratitude for what we're receiving. The new moon is about impregnating the universe. The full moon is about welcoming the baby. So a lot of what you all are seeing here come into your reality. Some of you manifested this 6 months ago when the new moon was in Gemini. Okay. So this is how these things work. Y'all remember this moving forward because we got one more moon video. That'll be the new moon in Sagittarius in 2 weeks. And then we're done with these and we'll see where the Most High takes me after that. Okay. Now, so Gemini, talking about rapid growth through knowledge sharing, learning, information, and communication. And we're also going to be talking about perhaps some short distance travel. Those are the lesser themes. They're not really lesser, but they're lesser to me because I don't talk about the short distance travel as well as siblings and that things of that nature, whatever. So anyway, what are we talking about here, family? Fair use. Thank you for joining tonight. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to say we'll start at 2920 for the first house. 2920. If you have Gemini in your first house, what are we expressing gratitude for? We're expressing gratitude because you have received or you will be receiving during this full moon cycle. And keep in mind that a lot of these energies can last up to 2 weeks. Okay. They can last up to 2 weeks. So, pardon me. So now, if you have Gemini in your first house, you can, let me say 2945. If you have Gemini, I'll leave it at 2920. If you have Gemini in your first house, you can expect to receive either some information or some communication or come into the knowledge of something that is basically going to affect how you show up, how you appear to others, how you look to yourself, how you appear to yourself. But remember, the information, that third house, that is on that youthful side of the chart. Aries can be looked at as the birth. Taurus can be looked at as learning or identifying what that baby likes, what that baby getting its possessions. This is mine. It can also represent people bringing gifts to the baby or whatever in that Taurus energy or that second house energy. When you get to that third house, that is the child going to school, or the child going to school, whether it be at home, learning lessons from his parents, or entering into an academic environment, kindergarten, pre-K, whatever, first grade, whatever. That's that Gemini. That's that youthful Gemini energy. This is why people, a lot of people that you know that have Gemini in their charts, they tend to be very youthful, very youthful. Whereas when you get on that Sagittarius side of the chart, they can still have some youthful nature about them, but they tend to be more on the, okay, I've been there and done that. I've gone on these different adventures. Let me share with you what it is that I learned. Okay, so that's a little bit of that contrast between Gemini and Sagittarius. But when you're talking about learning and Gemini in that third house, you are talking about things that lead to growth. Why are we learning? Why do we learn? We learn so that we can grow through what we learn, right? So if you have Gemini in your first house, you are looking at receiving some sort of information or some communication that is going to lead to personal growth. It is going to lead to personal growth. How it could also lead to, again, you might receive some knowledge about yourself that perhaps you didn't know. Okay, somebody might come along and tell. Maybe you might even get some information that, you know, somebody that knew you when you were younger or something, or somebody some type of information or communication or some sort of knowledge is going to be shared with you that is going to lead to personal growth. Personal growth. That first house is your I am statement. So who you are, I am this, I am that. Okay, you are going to receive some sort of communication or some knowledge that is going to lead to personal growth. Okay. You're also somebody, if you got Gemini in the first house, you're also somebody that can rapidly change your appearance. We know that Mercury is the fastest moving energy, and Mercury is the ruler of Gemini and the third house. So Mercury being the fastest moving energy, you're somebody, you're also somebody that people love to just come up and talk to. Like that Gemini first house people tend to have this thing about them where people want to talk to them. People want to talk to them, and they love talking to people too. I got a brother, Scorpio brother. He's the Gemini first house. He loves talking to people. People love talking to him. He's just got one of those personalities. But again, with this full moon cycle, expect some sort of personal growth that is achieved through something that you learn, something that you may even learn something about yourself new. You may learn something new about yourself that may enhance your appearance. Okay, you may learn new ways to. You might learn a new style of dress or a new way to new hairstyle or something. Just something about the way you show up. You're going to learn something new that is going to lead to personal growth, and it could affect your appearance as well. Your appearance as well. That first house is a wild card because it sits at the top of your chart, so it can affect any number of areas in your chart. When you hear me go through houses 2 through 12, listen, because some of those themes may apply to you too. The wild cards when it comes to the signs is the native house for that sign and it being at your first house. Okay, that first house sits at the top. You got Mercury as your chart ruler. So the other thing with people that have Mercury as their chart ruler, that would be Virgo risings and Gemini risings. They can tend to give people communication just in their appearance. Their appearance a lot of times will communicate for them. The way they show up speaks volumes. Okay, the way they show up speaks volumes. So there may be something that comes into your reality during this full moon cycle that leads to some sort of personal growth with you having Mercury in your first house. So look for an uptick in communication that has to deal with you, or even some knowledge, something that you learn that enhances you as a person. Okay. And those are just some themes. You can always go and look at what other astrologers are saying, because this thing is so big, no one person knows it all. If they tell you they know it all, they're lying. Okay. All right. That was Gemini in the first house. If you have Gemini in the second house, 3430. If you have Gemini in the second house, look for some sort of information to come into your space, into your reality. Look for someone to share some sort of knowledge or something that could lead to growth in your finances, could lead to rapid growth in your finances. Okay. Could lead to a rapid increase in your personal worth, or it could even have to deal with your how you value yourself, what the things that you value, but also your self-worth. That second house it gets a little bit of that bleed over self energy from the first house. The second house is the house of values and worth. So you could get some information, or you could learn something. Someone could share some knowledge with you that helps you to enhance or grow your personal worth statement. What am I worth? What does my self-worth look like? So who am I? What am I worth to myself? But not just that, your bottom line, your banking, your finances, your personal possessions. Someone could share some knowledge with you that leads to growth in the things that you possess, the things that you value, the things that you hold near and dear to your heart. Already, if you are a second house Gemini, you value communication, you value learning as well. You might be somebody that loves to learn about money, someone who loves to learn about finance, someone that loves to learn about investing, real estate acquisition, that sort of thing. So look for some information that comes into you that is going to help you to grow in the area of net worth and whatever that looks like to you. Okay. That's ruled by, that second house is ruled by Taurus. Taurus is the sign also of beautiful things. So you could get some information. It could be as simple as you finding out about something being on sale. Okay. It could be as simple as you finding out that there's a sale going on somewhere. Anything that is going to allow you to acquire more things of value, or how you value yourself, your self-worth. Those are some things. Those are some themes. And so look for some information, some communication, some knowledge to be shared with you, okay? Or you may even be sharing some of that communication with others. So that's Gemini in the second house. Gemini in the third, I'm going to say 3650. You have Gemini in the third, that's your wild card. Why? Because Gemini is a natural ruler of the third house. So you're at home. So with this new moon or this full moon in Gemini, just look for an increase in your knowledge. Look for an increase in general knowledge. Okay. It also could have to deal with you could learn some things. So you might learn it through, hey, you got to go somewhere and take a quick trip somewhere to go and learn something new. Okay. This is the house of learning. It's a house of learning. It's also the house of siblings. Okay. It rules over the third house, also rules over siblings as well. And Gemini rules over that third house. So there may be something that you learn about your siblings, or there may be some an uptick in communication with your siblings for some reason or the other. But this is the wild card. If you've got Gemini in your third house, it's natural for you to communicate. It is natural for you to enjoy learning. It is natural for you to have an interest in picking up some classes or things of that nature. So information technology too lives in the third house. I know a lot of people like to look at technology as being an Aquarian theme, but it also lives in the third house as well, which is ruled by Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. Why? Because Mercury also rules over communication technology. So if you got Gemini in your third house, just it's a wild card. It's very general for you. Look for an uptick in communication and knowledge in general. Don't be surprised if a lot of people want to come up to you and start talking to you over the next week or two. Okay. All right. And you might learn anything. What you're going to learn could be anything, but I would guarantee you that it's probably more likely than not, going to be tied to something that you desire to learn. Okay. Because remember, a lot of times we magnetically attract certain things into our lives. And with you being a Gemini in the third house, you probably have a desire to learn something that maybe for some reason you couldn't get at, or you were putting it off. Whatever that thing is that you desire to learn, it could look for it to come in now. Look for it to come in during this period. Okay. Those are just some themes. Those are some themes. Again, Gemini, we talked about it. We talked about what it rules over. It rules over communication, knowledge, information, learning, the conscious mind. You might find yourself thinking about a lot of things here over the next couple of weeks. So just think about that. And again, these things, look for these things to come in fast, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. That's the speedster of the planets. That is the planetary speedster. So all of these themes, y'all, look for them to come in quickly. Look for them to come in quickly. Okay. All right. So that was Gemini in the third. Moving on to Gemini in the fourth, we're going to say 39, 35. If you have Gemini in your fourth house, what is the fourth house about? The fourth house is about home, family, your emotions. Those are the big three for me with the fourth house: home, family, and emotions. So look for something that might look for some communication to come in. Some of you may be learning something about your families. You may get some information or learn ways to rapidly grow. You might listen. Look at what Queen Olivia shared. She's growing her family. You see what I'm saying? So she's having communication about growing family. Now, you've children live in the fifth house, but family lives in the fourth house. So here's the other thing: you might gain some knowledge that is going to lead to growth in the emotional space for you. The fourth house is naturally ruled by Cancer, so that has to deal with the heart chakra and your emotions. Y'all might get some communication. If you got Gemini in the fourth house, y'all might get some communication that leads to growth in your heart chakra. So some of you have had your hearts closed off. You might get some loving communication that comes in, or just some communication that makes you feel good, that leads to growth in your heart chakra space, in your heart space. Okay. And again, you might learn something about your family. You might learn something about family roots during this time. You could be looking for information for maybe growth in your home. Maybe you want to change something around the house or something like that. Anything that has to deal with information or learning in the area of home, family, and emotions, look for that information to come in, and it's going to lead to rapid growth in that particular area for you. So that is Gemini in the fourth. 4125. If you have Gemini in your fifth house, 25. You have Gemini in your fifth house. The fifth house is what? Fifth house is our passions. Those are things that we do for fun. Those are things that we do to make us feel alive. They tend to be strengths as well. One of the things I've learned that work very well together is tarot and astrology. The strength card is Leo energy. That Leo energy Leo rules over the fifth house. So when you look at your fifth house sign there, that tends to be an area where you're strong. I like to call the fifth house a backup or a secondary sun sign. Why? Because the sun is the ruler of the fifth house, just like the moon is the ruler of the fourth house. So you got Gemini in the fourth house. That's like having a secondary moon sign that's in Gemini, being a secondary Gemini moon. Okay, you got love, you got emotional attachment to communication. If you've got Gemini in your fifth house, you probably have you could work in communications as well, because again, it's ruled by the sun. So these tend to be areas where we're strong, areas where we shine, areas where we're creative. So you could be a creative writer if you have Gemini in your fifth house. Well, guess what? Maybe you're going to get some information or some communication, or you're going to learn something that is going to enhance your ability to shine in the area of communication, or enhance your ability to shine in the area of writing. Anything that's any of the creative arts live in the fifth house. It is also the area of our passion. So you have a passion for communication and learning if you have Gemini in your fifth house. So during this full moon cycle, look for something that look to learn something, or perhaps get some information, or someone give you some communication that is going to lead to growth in the area of your passions. Okay. It could also lead to children. Somebody could tell you they want to have a child with you. I don't know, male or female. Somebody could communicate, whisper, put a bug in you and say, hey, what do you think about us having kids or trying for a kid or something? Because children are fifth house function as well. So it's creation. The fifth house is about creation as well. So you're creating children. Those are things. Passion and romance live in the fifth house as well. So with this full moon in Gemini, and you've got Gemini in the fifth house, don't be surprised if you get some communication that somebody tells you that they have romantic interest in you. That's another possibility. Not saying it is, just looking at the possibilities. But you could also get that information could lead to growth in the area of romance or passions. And again, the fifth house also is about things that we do for fun, things that make our inner child, things that bring out our inner child, things that make us feel alive. So you may be learning during this period about things that you want to do for fun. So those are just some themes. You may get information, or someone may come up to you and give you some communication, invite you out to go do something fun if you have Gemini in that fifth house. But I love that Gemini fifth house placement, because again, if you've got Gemini in your fifth, you're probably just as powerful as a Gemini sun or Gemini moon, because the fifth house is naturally ruled by the sun. So you are going to shine in the area of learning, in the area of communication. You're probably a gifted learner. You're probably a fast learner if you have Gemini in the fifth house. Anywhere you have Gemini in your chart represents an area where you are going to learn fast. You're going to learn quickly. Okay. So Gemini in the fifth, that's a strong placement. You're strong. You're probably somebody that can easily win debates. Oh, anywhere you got it. If your sun is in the third house, or your Gemini sun, or you got Gemini in the fifth house, you're a master debater. Or your Jupiter's in Gemini, you're someone that you probably, or Jupiter's in the third house, you're somebody that can stand people up in debates. It's like, okay, you want to try that with me? Let's go. I'm ready. So those are some themes for Gemini in the fifth house during this particular full moon cycle. Okay, look for that to come in. And y'all, with all of these placements, express gratitude when it comes into your life. The more you express gratitude for the things you receive, the more you receive. The more you express gratitude for the things that have not appeared yet, but you have that inner knowing. That fifth house also rules over the solar plexus chakra. That's the seat of your inner knowing, sight unseen, aka faith. Okay. So you also have the ability to speak a thing into existence with that Gemini energy in the fifth house, because the fifth house is about creation. Okay. So I just gave y'all a pro tip. I just gave y'all a pro tip. If you have Gemini in your fifth house, you have a powerful ability to speak things into existence. Keep that in your back pocket. Okay. Some of y'all probably spoke some stuff into existence when 6 months ago, when the new moon was in Gemini, and you were seeing whatever it was that you spoke into existence and you manifested during the new moon in Gemini back in the spring heading into the summer. You guys are probably seeing that coming into your space right now. So congratulations to you. But again, that's a pro tip. If you have a sun in Gemini, if your sun is in the third house, if your Jupiter's in the third house or Jupiter's in Gemini, or your fifth house Gemini, you have a powerful ability to speak things into existence. Why? Because Gemini energy in the third house is about communication, speech, that sort of thing. And that fifth house is about creation. Jupiter is about expansion. Okay. That sun is about creation. So keep that with you. You Gemini sun, y'all can. This is why I tell my younger brother to watch what he says sometimes. And Gemini, y'all know Gemini can be that flip flop energy. Which twin is talking? So you also have to be you have to be particular to be very careful about what comes out of your mouth, because you got those two opposing twins with Gemini. Let the good twin win, okay? Let Dr. Jekyll win. Don't let Mr. Hyde win, okay? All right. So that was Gemini in the fifth house. Express gratitude. Express gratitude for it when it shows up, okay? Moving on to the sixth house, 4727. If you have Gemini in your sixth house, what is the sixth house, Matt? The sixth house is a good place for Gemini. Why? Because the sixth house is naturally ruled by Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury. That's the feminine aspect of Mercury. Mercury has a feminine and a masculine aspect. The masculine aspect of Mercury is Gemini. The feminine is Virgo. So if you've got Gemini in the sixth house, then you have the planetary rule of the sixth house is Mercury, and that's at home. Gemini and Virgo are both at home in the sixth house in a sense. Some people might argue, say, well, no, Matt, technically speaking, Gemini goes in the third house. But when you're talking about the planetary ruler, the same planet rules the third house and the sixth house. So if you got Virgo in the third, I'm going to say you at home. If you got Gemini in the sixth, I'm going to say you at home. Okay? All right? Let's get that out of the way. Now, pardon me. Y'all, I'm doing a lot of burping tonight for some reason. Probably because I'm sitting down and I'm slumped. Let me sit up straight. Okay. Now, so yeah, if you've got Gemini in your sixth house, it's ruled by Virgo. This has to deal with daily routines, daily tasks, things that you do every day, your routines at work, your job. It has to deal with organization, analytics. So with Gemini in your third house, listen, you are probably going to get some information. And the sixth house being naturally ruled by Virgo, you love details. Okay. Gemini, that's not the same as Virgo. However, I've never met a Virgo and a Gemini that could not hold each other captive in the conversation. I personally know Virgos and Geminis, and when they talk, and it's so beautiful, it's so natural. Not like one of those two signs trying to talk to a Capricorn, because we like, all right, make this quick. I got stuff I got to do. Virgo and Gemini, Virgo loves to get the details, and Gemini loves to share them. Okay, so if you got Gemini in your sixth house, communication is natural for you. Expect to get some sort of information or to learn something that is going to give you some growth in the area of daily tasks and routines. The sixth house is also about your health. It rules over health. So with Gemini in the sixth, you could love learning about health. Okay, you could love learning about ways to improve your health. Don't be surprised to get some information or some communication, or someone have someone share some knowledge with you that is going to help you to improve your health. Okay, your personal health, but also going to help you grow in your daily tasks, your routines. You may get some communication at work. You may get some communication at work that will help you to lead or help lead to growth in that job task. Okay. Hopefully it's growth in a good way and not growth in you're being inundated. Okay. I don't like to see anybody inundated. Okay. So yeah. So those are some themes that you might see coming in during this full moon. You expect to get some communication or some knowledge shared with you that is going to help you to get more organized. It's all about learning and growth. So help you get more organized. analytical. So you may grow your ability to analyze based on some information or some communication that's coming in, or something that you learn. Okay, or you may even want to go and learn. You may want to take some data analytics course or something. There's going to be something that is of that Gemini nature, and it's going to happen quickly. Everything with Gemini, everything with Mercury is about speed, unless you got it, unless it's you got Saturnian influence there. You got some Capricornian or some Saturnian influence there. Then things could kind of slow down a little bit, or even Taurus in a house that's ruled by Gemini can slow things down, because Taurus energy moves when it wants to. It's fixed Earth, so it is technically the slowest moving energy out there. But we're not talking about Taurus today. We're talking about Gemini in that sixth house. So that's a great placement for you, because it's at home. It is ruled by Mercury. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. The sixth house is ruled by Mercury. You're right at home. Look for some rapid communication to come in, or something that's going to give you some details that are going to help you to improve your daily tasks, your daily routines, and your health. Okay, so that's Virgo in the sixth. Let's move on to, I said Virgo in the sixth. I meant Gemini in the sixth. Let's move on to Gemini in the seventh house, and that time now is 51:42. If you have Gemini in your seventh house, the seventh house is naturally ruled by Libra. That is all about balance. That is the energy of partnerships, relationships, that sort of thing. So expect to get some knowledge or some communication from your partner. It could be a spouse, it could be a business partner, or anything that helps you to improve your partnership, your relationship. You could get some communication about your business partnerships that help you to bring those into balance. A lot of times we talk about the raw nature of just relationships and partnerships when we're talking about the seventh house, but we don't give enough attention to the balance aspect of the seventh house. The seventh house is how we balance things, where we balance, the energy that we use to balance things. So the energy that you use to balance things, with having that Virgo in not Virgo, I keep saying Virgo, that Gemini in the seventh house, is communication and learning. So communication and learning lead to balance in your partnerships if you have Gemini in that seventh house. So look for some information that comes in that is going to help you to rapidly grow your partnerships. It could help you to rapidly grow your business. It could help you to balance your business. Again, that Libra ruled seventh house can be tricky. A lot of people look for the positives, but they don't understand that scale goes in both ways, and it keeps doing this and this and this and this and this until it comes into balance. So sometimes we see partnerships expand. Sometimes we see them contract. It just depends on the nature of that particular partnership. It depends on the nature of that relationship. So with Gemini in your seventh house, just look for some information, or you may learn something, or you may have some increased communication that leads to a growth, a nurturing, a strengthening of your partnership bond with. And those are typically going to be they are going to be your Sagittarius rising. If you got Gemini in the seventh, that means you have your Sagittarius rising. So Sagittarius rising, everything you do is going to be big. Everything you're going to do and everything you do is going to be big. Why? Because Jupiter is your chart ruler, and Jupiter is about the energy of expansion. So with that Gemini in the seventh house, whatever you're going to learn or whatever communication you're going to have, it can also lead to expansion. And I said the growth, but when you're talking growth with the third house in Gemini, you talk expansion with the ninth house in Sagittarius. How does that work? When you grow, when you're a kid and you start to grow that pant size, guess what? When your waist starts to grow, you have to expand your pant size. Okay. As you grow, you may have to expand your closet. You may have to get a bigger closet. So growth leads to expansion. They're not the same. Expansion is a byproduct of growth. Okay. So keep that in mind. Whatever it is that you're going to learn, it could lead to expansion, because why? You have Sagittarius as your chart ruler. So everything that you do as a Sagittarius rising is going to be expansive, including your partnerships. Okay. Everything a Sagittarius rising touches turns to gold. Matt, why are you talking about Sagittarius rising? Because Sagittarius rising is a Gemini descendant. They're Gemini in the seventh house. So look for some communication. It could also, during this full moon period, you could also learn something about your sibling partnerships, because Gemini rules over the third house where our siblings live as well. So you could get some information or communication from a sibling, one of your siblings. Maybe you haven't talked to them in a long time and they want to talk to you, or you get some communication, or maybe you feel compelled to reach out to them. To each his own. It's going to be different for everybody. Okay. So, and a lot of times I don't get into the degrees, but the degrees also help to further color and filter that energy. But I don't get into degrees here because that's another layer of granularity that would take a long time. So those are some themes. Look for some communication, some knowledge sharing, some growth, some growth that leads to expansion in your partnerships. They could be business partnerships. They could be marriage, that sort of thing, boyfriend, girlfriend, that sort of thing, whatever. But again, keep in mind that Libra is the natural ruler of the seventh house. So whatever you're going to learn, it's also going to help you to balance that. Okay. Help you to bring that partnership into balance. And whatever communication, it could be a tower card moment where the communication is kind of rough. However, it is going to lead to balance. So I love that for you, Gemini in the seventh. Now, moving on to Gemini in the eighth, 5610. If you have Gemini in your eighth house, the eighth house is the house of transformation. I love that. That eighth house is the house of transformation. It's the house of shared resources. It is the house of magnetization. We magnetize things. We manifest things to that eighth house. It is the house of alchemy. It is also the house of intimacy. So you guys with Gemini in that eighth house, first of all, if you got Gemini in the eighth house, you could be somebody that you could be somebody that has we grown here. F it. You could be somebody that is known for having, like, you could have a very magnetic communication style. Your communication style could be sexual. You could like talking about things of that nature. It's also about learning. So you could love learning about things like that. Okay. Tantra, things of that nature. Those are some themes with Gemini in the eighth house. Okay. But again, the things that you communicate, things that you learn, that information that you get, it leads to growth. Okay. No pun intended. Don't take that sideways, fellas. All right. Could lead to growth in that stomach area too. With all that Gemini energy in the eighth house. Okay. So anyway, but let's get out of that and get back to the transformation part. Look for some information or some communication that comes in that's going to help you to transform, may help you to alchemize something. Again, I love the eighth house energy because that eighth house energy can take something from one form and turn it into another. I love that eighth house. The eighth house is naturally ruled by Scorpio. Scorpios are known for having the power to take pain and turn it into purpose. So you could get some information or learn something that helps you to take pain, any pain that you've been dealing with, and turn that into purpose. Okay. But that is an area where you actually love to learn, and you may get some information that also you could get some communication that leads to growth with regards to shared resources, shared bank accounts, inheritance. I love that growth for anybody. So you could get some information that leads to, you're finding out that you got an inheritance or something. And this would be a very auspicious time for you. Why? Because Uranus, the energy of sudden unexpected events, has gone retrograde in Taurus, the sign of material wealth, possessions, that sort of thing. So for some of you watching, it could be a very small number. I don't know. But for some of you watching, you could get some knowledge or some communication or something, or learn something, learn about you having an inheritance somewhere, or you could be an heir to something, and that information comes into you and say, hey, we need you to show up. Is your name blah, 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 blah? Okay, we need you to show up at the such and such attorney's office on such and such date and time, because we got some information that we need to share with you, and it's got to be in person. Or whatever. You'd be like, oh, wait a minute. You mean I'm the heir to blah, 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 blah? How many millions? That might be specific for somebody. I don't know. But keep that in mind. So those are some themes for that eighth house. I love transformation. Whatever information comes into your space during this full moon period, it's probably going to lead to some sort of transformation. And growth and transformation are beautiful together. Okay. And it could lead to that rapid transformation, because anywhere you have Gemini in your chart, that tends to be rapid movement, rapid growth, rapid learning, rapid knowledge, rapid communication. Think Eight of Wands for those of you who are in that tarot community. Think that Eight of Wands card. That's rapid communication. Funny, I say Eight of Wands and we're talking about the eighth house. So during this full moon cycle, don't be surprised to get some sort of information or communication or knowledge that helps you to transform in some way, shape, or form, some area of your life. Okay. That's my favorite eighth house theme, the transformation. I love that. I love that theme. Moving on to the ninth house, we're going to say 1 hour, the 1 hour mark. If you have Gemini in your ninth house, that's a good placement too, because that ninth house, Gemini, that ninth sits opposite Sagittarius in the third. So you're already gifted at learning. If you've got Gemini in your ninth house, the ninth house is a number of things. It's ruled by Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. So I tend to look at the ninth house first and foremost as an area of your life where you're gifted. I like to call it a backup Jupiter sign because it's ruled by Jupiter. So whatever your Jupiter sign is, that's one set of gifts. Whatever your Jupiter sign and house is, that is one set of gifts. But when you got whatever sign you have in your ninth house, that's a secondary set of gifts. So if you have Gemini in your ninth house, you're already a gifted learner and you're a fast learner. You're a gifted learner and you're fast at it. You're gifted at learning quickly. You probably were someone who in school growing up, your teachers probably said that, hey, this student right here is quick. Oh, they're so much faster than their fellow students and blah, 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 blah. So you could get some, and the ninth house, I like to look at the ninth house as the house of expansion. Remember, I said the third house is about growth. Gemini is about growth. The ninth house in Sagittarius is about expansion. So look for some communication to come into your space that helps you to expand in some area. Now, that ninth house has to deal with themes like long distance travel, higher knowledge, religion. And I'm not talking about Saturnian religion. I'm not talking about the Abrahamic religions. I think those have been mistakenly classified or placed into the ninth house. But that ninth house is about that higher consciousness. When you talk ninth house religion, you're talking about the religion of Yeshua, aka the Christed one, aka Jesus Christ, aka Emmanuel, aka Yahweh. That was the type of religion that we see in the ninth house of the cosmos. He was teaching ninth house religion. The Pharisees and the religious establishment of his day, they were not teaching ninth house religion. Everything that they were teaching was constriction. This is why he said, I've come to set the captives free. The ninth house is about expansion. It's about the higher mind, the higher consciousness. It's about higher learning. If the third house is grade school, the ninth house is college and university and thesis level learning, doctorate level learning. That's the ninth house. So if you've got Gemini placed there, you could get some information that's really going to expand and increase your knowledge. And again, it could be in the area of religion. It could be in the area of foreign interaction, foreign languages, could be long distance travel. The ninth house, another theme I like to see with ninth house is freedom. So you could get some information that comes into your space during this full moon cycle. If you have Gemini in the ninth house, that leads to your feeling liberated. You're feeling free. Okay. There are two signs that I like to look at that have to deal with freedom and not religion, freedom and expansion and just being released from this constriction or constricted energy. They are the fire sign Sagittarius and the air sign Aquarius. Those are the liberators. Sagittarius liberates himself. Aquarius liberates others. Okay. Sagittarius can help you be liberated by what they learn when they go off on their travels because they still got that Gemini side to them. So a Gemini tends to learn at home. A Sagittarius tends to learn abroad. I know I'm going around the block a little bit, but this information that's going to come to you during this full moon in Gemini, if you have Gemini in your ninth house, is going to lead to some sort of expansion of your higher consciousness. I'll give you guys a case in point. I'm a ninth house Gemini. I got that powerful download that I shared on my last live stream where I talked about apostle and how the term apostle was hijacked because the root APOS or apo or apos, when you look at the word apostasy and apostate, it talks about breaking away from the religious establishment. But the apostles, as they're presented to us in religion today, they're presented as people who pushed Christianity, and that couldn't be further from the truth. They pushed the religion that the Messiah was teaching, but somehow they have now been used to bring people back underneath that Saturnian do this or else you're going to go to hell type of religion, and that was not the religion that the Messiah taught. So that's just an example, okay? Another powerful example I got was that David practiced divination, okay? But they demonize divination and make it sound like it's evil somehow. But when you read 1 Samuel chapter 30, around verses 1 through 10, you see where David got his seer to give him his divination devices so that he could make a request to the Most High and find out what should I do in this situation. Y'all can go and read it for yourself, or you can go and watch my last live stream, or maybe it was 2 live streams ago. Maybe one, I don't remember. Maybe it was the last one. I don't remember, y'all. I'm on here. Y'all know how I get when I get in the flow. But anyway, I use that as an example. I'm using myself as an example to show you how this full moon cycles bring in these themes based on what house you have that energy in. I've got Gemini in that ninth house of religion, cosmic religion, Jupiterian religion, not Saturnian. Christianity, Islam, and Judaism are Saturnian. I'll argue that with anybody. Anybody want to come argue, you can come get it right now. You can get it right now. Let's go. Let's go. I will sit you down. If you want to argue that with me, I will sit you down and show you that it's Saturnian. And it's not what the Messiah was teaching, which was energy, frequency, and vibration. In essence, he was teaching to go within to find God, not to go without to some man and some man outside of you to tell you who God is. He was telling you you can find God by going within. That's a spiritual theme. That is not a religious theme. So that ninth house is also spirituality too. It's spirituality too, but it's like learning spirituality and living in that higher consciousness. So not spirituality in the 12th house sense or the Piscean sense, but it's a different type. It is literally the Christ consciousness lives in that ninth house. So I know I took y'all all the way around the block to get you to the house next door, but I just wanted to give myself as an example to show you how this full moon cycle brings in these things. I didn't know any of that stuff I just told y'all prior to this week. So I gotta make the connection between the full moon, that super moon in Gemini coming in. The energies of the full moon are felt days before it peaks and days after it peaks. So that information didn't come into me till a few days ago. The full moon peaks tomorrow, whatever day you're watching this. The full moon peaks on December the 4th. Today's December the 3rd. Okay, so that is those are just some themes. Look for some information that leads to expansion of consciousness. It leads to your feeling liberated, leads to your feeling free, leads to your feeling not restricted or not confined, that sort of thing. It could lead you to you might go take a long distance trip and learn something over in a foreign country or something like that. Or some of you may get the itch to start learning foreign languages or something like that. It could be any of those themes in the ninth house. For more ninth house themes, just look them up. Okay, look up what themes go with the ninth house, and you can get some information on that. Anyway, I spent more time on that than I probably wanted to. Let's move on to the 10th house, 10750. If you have Gemini in your 10th house, the 10th house ruled by Capricorn, that is the house of our careers, our public areas, public facing, how we appear in the public. The 4th house is about home. The 10th house is about public. Okay, like the 9th house is learning at home. I'm sorry, the 3rd house is learning at home. The 9th house is learning abroad. Okay, the 4th house is about home, family, our emotions at home. This is why Capricorns can sometimes seem emotionless, because it sits opposite that Cancerian 4th house, which is about your emotions, about getting in that moon, that feminine energy. That Capricorn energy, that's about, hey, look, I ain't got time for the emotions. I got to achieve. I got to solve a problem. I got to hit my success markers. So with that being said, if you have Gemini in your 10th house, you could be learning something during this cycle that helps you to achieve success. You could get some communication that leads to rapid growth that allows you to achieve success. Success in what? Success in your career. It could also lead to your achieving success in maybe in the area of communication. Okay, with Saturn sitting on that I mean, now your 10th house ruler by some accounts is Mercury, because you got Gemini in the 10th house. But I also like to look at that top level ruler. That top level ruler of the 10th house is Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so that top level planetary ruler of the 10th house is Saturn. Maybe some of you have had some laborious communication, or maybe a tough time communicating some themes. Well, guess what? With this full moon coming in Gemini, that could free up or give you that boost of energy to help you overcome whatever that obstacle was to you either learning something that it is that you wanted to learn, or to achieve something that it is that you wanted to achieve. Had either something with your career, some sort of problem that you've been dealing with for a while that you needed to overcome. That 10th house is about problem solving as well. It's about career achievement, but it's also about problem solving and overcoming obstacles and hurdles. What types of obstacles or hurdles, Matt? Well, with Gemini in your 10th house, they could be obstacles or hurdles to your expression, being able to express yourself at work, being able to express yourself in general, being able to maybe some of you have had writer's block if you've been working on some books or something. But again, also with Gemini in that 10th house, you probably love learning about different career opportunities. So perhaps you get some communication or some knowledge that comes in that leads to growth in your career, or growth. Maybe it may lead you to find a new career opportunity that's going to bring you more joy. So these are some themes, but I love the achievement. Okay. So with Gemini in that 10th house, look for some information or some communication or some knowledge that is going to lead to some sort of achievement or some sort of success. Maybe something, again, when Saturn's in the mix, things take time. When Saturn is in the mix, things take time. So look for some sort of communication, information, or knowledge to be shared with you that is now going to lead to a rapid growth or a rapid overcoming of whatever that obstacle is. Only you know. Okay, it's going to be different for everybody. But Gemini there is that is a good placement, because now with this full moon and it being a super moon, you're going to get some supercharged energy and some supercharged knowledge that is going to give you that boost that you need to overcome whatever that career obstacle is for you, or whatever that challenge was that you were perhaps having difficulty overcoming or expressing yourself with, or whatever. Those are just some themes. That pen just flew out of my hand, y'all. Did y'all see it? I sure didn't throw it over there. Those are some themes with Gemini in the 10th. Now, moving on, we got 11140, 11150. If you have Gemini in your 11th house, the 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, okay? The Liberator, I just talked about that. Aquarius goes against the grain. Aquarius looks at the rules and says, nah, we could do this better. Aquarius looks at the way things are done. It looks at the structures, and it says, you know what? These structures may benefit a few, but they don't benefit the many. So what can we do to change this up? If you've got Gemini in your 11th house, you're probably somebody that takes the lead with communicating or sharing knowledge or learning in your group, whatever group you're associated with. You love learning about different groups, different ways to interact, different ways to exercise humanitarianism. So with Gemini in that 11th house, look for some information or some communication or some knowledge to come in that is going to help you to grow rapidly your ability to be a change agent in whatever group that you're in. Okay, the 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. Aquarius is a change agent. There's someone they're a change agent for good. They're selfless. That's the energy of selflessness. Aquarius likes to work behind the scenes to make sure that everybody elevates. So look for some information or some communication that's going to come in to help you to do that. Okay, or also to help you to maybe express yourself better in these groups. Maybe you get this supercharged ability to express yourself, express new ideas, or to learn new things about those groups that you are associated with, and how better ways that you can help, better ways that you can serve humanity. Okay, and again, I like to look at that with that sitting in a house that's ruled by Aquarius or ruled by Uranus, that is ruled by Uranus. You could probably expect to also see something come in that is unexpected. Uranus is sudden, unexpected events. So don't be surprised if you get some sudden, unexpected communication that comes in, or you get an unexpected piece of information that you learn from that helps you to do your job, or that helps you to better represent others, or that helps you to maybe restructure, or the Leo rules over the 5th house of creativity. If the 5th house is about creativity, the 11th house is about innovation. So you could get some information or knowledge or learn something that leads to some sort of innovation, and rapid innovation in whatever area that you work as an innovator in. It could be for a group. You could work as a solo innovator where you're making something better for a larger group of people. Okay, so when you got these 11th house placements, a lot of times we look at them, because the 11th house is about group participation. A lot of times we look at them as individuals being a part of a group. That's not always the case. Sometimes you are doing work that helps to change things for groups. You could be working solo, but you're doing it in such a way that it liberates others and it helps others. We had this theme before with this Uranus and Gemini before it went retrograde into Taurus, where we said Uranus and Gemini is sudden, unexpected communication that leads to liberation and innovation. It's the same theme here with this Gemini full moon. If you got Gemini in the 11th house, okay? You could get some sudden, unexpected communication, knowledge, information that leads to liberation, okay? Or that leads to innovation. So you could be a tech head as well. If you got Gemini in the 11th house, you probably are super techie. You love technology. You love communication technology, but you love technology in general. So this could be a very auspicious time for you where you're getting new knowledge that's going to help strengthen and lead to growth in the area of representation in a sense too, because Aquarians represent the greater good. So it could allow you to represent others in a way that just helps to lead to growth, rapid growth. All right. That is Gemini in the 11th. And last but not least, at 115, let's say 116. At 116, if you've got Gemini in your 12th house, the 12th house is ruled by Pisces. Okay. Pisces has two planetary rulers. It just depends on which version of astrology you're looking at. If you're looking at traditional astrology, then that is going to be Jupiter. If you're looking at modern astrology, then it's going to be Neptune. Okay. Again, with any 12th house placement, any Piscean placements, what does Matthew always say? Keep your vibrations high. Anytime you got Neptune influencing a particular position in the chart, it is pertinent that you keep your vibrational frequency high. You keep your emotional frequency high because Neptune likes it when your vibrations are low, because then Neptune gets to have fun and show you illusions and delusions and things that are not real. So Neptune can laugh at you. And remember, Neptune, when you look at Neptune in mythology, it's this sea god, and he carries a trident. You know what a trident is above the surface of the water on land? It's a pitchfork. Y'all put that where it goes, okay? And remember, Pisces is the rule of the 12th house. Pisces is two fish. Which fish you get depends on your vibrational frequency. If you're high vibrational, it's probably not going to be a pitchfork you're dealing with. It's probably going to be a trident. If you're low vibrational, it's probably not going to be a trident. It's probably going to be a pitchfork. Okay? Which version of Neptune you get depends on you. So with that being said, if you have Gemini in your 12th house, look for some information, some communication to come in that is going to help to expand or increase your knowledge with regards to spiritual matters, esoteric matters, matters that have to deal with the psyche, the subconscious, spirituality. The 12th house is what I like to call the bridge between the physical realm and the spiritual realm, heaven and earth, this current lifetime and past lives. So this could be a very active time for you on the dreamscape. You could be dreaming, you could be seeing, you could be getting visions. Your psychic gifts could be increasing because it's about communication. So you're getting when you got Gemini or Virgo, any one of those two signs, you got Gemini, Virgo, you got an air sign. If you have an air sign in the 12th house, period. You got an air sign or Virgo, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So if you got Virgo or an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini in the 12th house, you are literally somebody that probably has the gift of mediumship. What does that mean? That means that you have the ability to communicate with spirits. You have to communicate, and that, when people hear that, they think that's woo-woo. It is not. Everybody's got different gifts that they were given. Guess what? Sometimes you have to get communication from the other side. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you get it when you're not looking for it. Okay? I got air in my 12th. I can't tell you how many times I've had communication from people's. I'm not gonna share other people's personal stories, but let me say, sometimes I found myself being an ambassador for somebody that I know, who I really don't know up close and personal, but I know them just enough, and I didn't know any of their family, and one of their ancestors speaks to me in dreams and says, "Share this with my whatever, son, daughter, aunt, uncle, nephew, niece, child, whatever." I'm just trying to keep it broad for y'all. But if you got Gemini in that 12th, you probably have the gift of mediumship. And a lot of times you don't want it. I'm just going to keep it 100. A lot of times you don't want it, but the Most High created you and put you here so that you can be that bridge to somebody who probably does not have that gift. There's somebody who probably the spirit realm won't talk to directly. I've seen people with I've seen people with Saturn in the 12th house, and they have difficulty. They just have difficulty. Like, it's like, well, feel like I can't get a prayer through. Well, guess what? God always puts you around people that have the ability to get a prayer through, because for whatever reason, you got Saturn sitting in your 12th house. So you got some lessons that you need to learn about your subconscious, or about, or you just got the ancestors or the spirit, the Holy Spirit, whatever. They don't want to deal with you directly. but they love you enough to put somebody around you that they will talk to. Case in point, the book of I believe this is in Samuel too, where David made the Most High so angry because he went to go number the population of Israel, and his wise men and his counselors said, David, don't do that. Don't do that. You can't do that. There's too many people. If you number them today, the count's going to be different tomorrow, because these women are very fertile. The men are very virile. Don't do that. And David's like, no, I'm doing it anyway. And so David, in a sense, exalted himself to the level of the Most High and said, hey, you know what? This is my nation of Israel. Most High like, oh, didn't your counselors and your seers tell you not to do this and you did it anyway? David did it anyway. And then when David's seer shows up and says, the Most High told me to tell you, you're going to get a whooping. He got one of 3 belts that you can pick from, okay? He can have you get your behind whooped by your enemies for 3 months. He can have a famine for 3 years, or you can have 3 days of pestilence and sickness throughout the land. You're going to get one. Which one you want? And by the way, the Most High don't want to talk to you. That's why he sent me. Yeah, I know you're a man after his own heart. I know he's loved you from day one, but he's so pissed with you right now, he's not talking to you. So he sent me. Gad, in effect, became a medium. He's the one that can get that communication from the other side. And yet we allow the religious establishment to tell us that these things are evil, but these are gifts that the Most High gave you. So if you got an air sign, and since we're talking Gemini, we'll keep it a Gemini, you have the astute ability to learn about spiritual things, probably in ways that others cannot. You have an astute ability, a gift to be able to learn about spiritual matters. You have the gift to be that bridge between heaven and earth and be that ambassador and to communicate and give others communication, or to learn things that are of that spiritual nature, of that subconscious nature, of that psyche. So those are some themes. You might have some stuff show up on the dreamscape. You may have people, you may end up, in effect, becoming a medium. Again, I've seen that where a lot of times some people were so far gone into what they're doing, but your ancestors on the other side trying to help you, so that they'll send a dream to somebody that don't know you personally, and then they sit down and tell you stuff about you, and you like, how did you know that? You're like, I don't know, I'm just telling you. And then that person will tell you, yeah, that was my passed on family member. I won't say what role it was, because I'm trying to keep this wide, not narrow, or whatever. But that was a passed on family member that was trying to give me a message. So I appreciate you sharing that dream with me. And you leave, you try to keep it cool. You be like, all right, yeah, no problem. And you leave and you go home, you be like, did that just happen? So I took y'all all the way around the block to get you to the house next door. If you got Gemini in the 12th house, these are some themes that may show up during this full moon cycle. Look for increased dream activity, increased visions, increased downloads that are going to lead to some sort of spiritual growth for you. Okay. And it could come in the form of either communication where you're channeling or you're picking up things. Okay. These are some themes for you. No, you're not crazy. Don't let anybody tell you you're crazy. You're not crazy. You're gifted. Okay. You're gifted. You got some gifts that other people got. And no, I'm not a doctor on here. I ain't no psychiatrist. I ain't trying to diagnose nothing. For the opposites watching. Okay. We're speaking spiritual matters. If you got any issues in those areas, please go and talk with a trained professional or someone licensed to deal with those issues. Got to say that on these platforms, because these platforms are getting more and more restrictive. But anyway, that's all I got, y'all. So we're going to wrap up at 124. Wrap up 124. Let me read some comments and see what y'all got going on in the chat there, and then we can end the video. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Thank y'all. Tour girl, my pleasure. My pleasure. Always. I love what I do. And y'all make it a rich experience. So thank y'all for being here. Y'all really make this a rich experience. And again, next year, especially after that powerful download I got about reading First Samuel chapter 30. Again, y'all missed that video. Just go back and look at my last 2 live streams, because I don't remember which one I did it on, if it was the last one or the one before that. I think it was the one. Yeah, it was the one where I said, the thumbnail says like something like God's perfect design for relationships simplified with math or something like that. Y'all go check that out, because that's where I read that passage of scripture from the first book of Samuel, the 30th chapter. But after that, y'all can't tell me nothing now. All y'all haters that want to come in the chat and say somebody evil or somebody going to hell because they read energy. Y'all stop calling tarot readers. Stop looking at them as tarot readers, even though they'll probably classify themselves as tarot readers. Stop looking at them as tarot readers and start looking at them as people who read energy. The cards are just a tool. Some people use dice. Some people use astro dice. Some people use runes. There are people that know how to read tea leaves. That's where the term reading the tea leaves comes from. There are people that literally put tea leaves in water and they get messages from looking at tea leaves. I still don't know how they do it. But they're accurate AF from the videos I've seen. So all they are energy readers. They just use different tools to do what they do. Okay. You got landscape people that do landscaping. Guess what? They might use a lawnmower. They might use a chainsaw. They might use an electric bush trimmer. They may use a gas powered hedge trimmer. They may use the shears, the manual shears. They're tools for doing the same job. Okay. So y'all stop calling these people whatever and just start looking at them as people who are gifted in reading energy. Everybody can't read energy the same way. Some people that have no ability to do it. Some people are great at it. Some people are average at it. The tool that you use is the tool you use. Okay. Some people look at people and read them. We see that in church a lot. I say we see that in church a lot as if I still go. I don't go anymore. But as a kid growing up, you would see people who would look at somebody and it would be evangelist such and such or prophetess such and such. And they would look at a person just like that. They look at them and then they would tell them something about themselves. They say, God said, you got this going on. And that person would be like, they start bawling. They'd be like, yeah, I know I got to do better. And you like, they don't know each other. They don't know each other. But that is a person who read that person's energy and they didn't use any tools, but they did use a tool. It was called divine channeling. So y'all stop letting the religious establishment control y'all, man. A lot of y'all got gifts that you're not even tapping into, and you were put here to tap into those gifts, but you got to get them chains off your mind. Some of y'all are powerful high priests and high priestesses of the light. Guess who's putting the message out that we're done, by the way. Guess who's putting the message out that is evil? It is the high priests and high priestesses of the darkness. It is advantageous for them to tell high priests and high priestesses of the light that have the gift that don't know it that is evil. Why? Because the light light always exposes the works of darkness. If somebody's doing something in the dark room and you turn the light on, all of a sudden, what do? They scramble and start trying to hide their stuff, right? That's what happens. The light exposes the unfruitful works of darkness or works of inequity, aka imbalance. I'm gonna knock you down so I can come up. That's a worker of iniquity. Anybody who's trying to knock you down so they can come up, that's an agent of imbalance, which makes them a worker of iniquity, which should be read worker of inequity. Okay? So y'all stop letting these high priests and high priestesses of the darkness tell you that what you have the ability to do is evil, and they're doing it. They're doing it to control you, because guess what? The moment you start tapping into your gifts, you set yourself free and others. Why? Because you are of the light. So you're not using these tools for darkness. This stuff really is simple math, y'all. It really is. It really is. Let me read some more comments. Thank y'all for being here tonight. If you haven't done so already, please hit that like button for me. It helps so much. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Let's see. Tora Girl said, wow, that is amazing. I definitely know this. My grandmother did the same. Oh, okay. This was talking about the other thing. The congratulations. Okay, let's keep it. Let me see. What did I skip? What's crazy? My son is 32 and he's a Gemini. Wow. I have a Gemini and dating a Gemini. Gotcha. Okay, what's up, Fair Use? She jumped in there. What's up, Fair Use? She said, did y'all see the photo of the sun today with the infinity symbol broken? What do y'all think it symbolizes? I didn't see that, Fair Use. Did you post that to your community board? Let me know. Okay, Lady Dag status popped in there. Let's see. Okay, so y'all just speaking to each other there. She said the sun was literally throwing gang signs today. That's funny. She said, I didn't even step out of the house while the sun was out today. Maybe I can find a video of it. They were spraying up chemtrail clouds in my area, so we couldn't see the sun today. Y'all already know what it is. This is one time I wish I lived in Florida. Now, I don't get into politics, but big up to Ron DeSantis for saying, if y'all fly one more chemtrail plane spraying these chemicals up in the sky, you're grounded and you're going to prison. So Shout out to Florida for having the balls, the nuts to stand up against the workers of darkness. Literally, like pun intended. They trying to darken out the sun. Anyway, she said, "Wow, that's crazy. We mentioned wanting a daughter months ago. That's crazy. You might have done it. Yeah, you might have done it during one of those full moons. One of those full moons. Yep. I mean, new moons. One of those new moons. Old flip flop is right. Constantly arguing with myself. So you already know." She said, "Burps are confirmations. Thank you for that confirmation." She said, "I reposted Stephen Burns' post. It was a liquid fire infinity sign, but broken." Yeah, so there was. I was looking at somebody else. There's another guy I watch sometimes. He's kind of inspirational too. He's pretty inspirational. His name is Michael De La Rocca. I think his channel was Our Everyday Lives. I like Mike. He was sharing something today too about he shares a lot of stuff about ascension symptoms or something. But I think I remember him saying something about some solar blast coming toward the earth or something like that. So yeah. What's going on? This is Cassandra. I remember now because you said, okay, that I don't know why they're doing my. What's up, Cassandra? Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Okay, what's up, Nikki? What's up? What's up? That's a lot better than Boss T Nick 1, because I don't know what that is, but now I got you. What's up, Nikki? So she caught that. Okay. Just checked. Mine is in the 12th house. Okay, so you got some of them gifts. I'm sure you already know that though. Said facts, Matt. Also, didn't the disciples draw sticks, aka throwing bones? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yup. Yep. Yep. That is very true. Gemini in the 8th. What's up, Rare Jewel? What is up? I have Gemini in my 11th, and today I took part in a panel with 2 colleagues where we shared info with other colleagues, and they expressed how much they learned from our panel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bernadette. Thank you. I got you. I got you on that. Nikki said, quality engineer. I'm a techie. Wow. See? Wow. She said, very true. And people think I'm crazy. Yup. 1,000, 10,000%. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Cassandra. I've dreamed things that came true, been able to give others advice, and they always ask, how did I know that? Wow. Wow. Always end up dating hurting men whom have trauma from their childhood and began to heal around me, and most of all men who were open and vulnerable with me. Wow. That's a gift. When you got that Gemini and you're high vibrational, depending on what placement you have it in, that's a very powerful gift. And when you got those 12th house placements like that, especially with air, you tend to attract people that need healing, that you can heal through your ability to communicate with them and to help them think through these problems. That is another superpower of people that have air in the 12th house. So thank you for sharing that, Queen. And you are very welcome. Thank you again, Tora girl. Okay, Cassandra says she'll catch the replay. Appreciate it. Cassandra, if you're still here, don't forget to leave a comment on your thoughts on the video underneath. Y'all don't forget to comment underneath the video. It also helps the algorithm. So y'all can, that's my phone telling me it's time to go to bed. I never listen to it. I probably should start. Anyway, you're very welcome, Nikki. Thank you so much. And she said, I don't need cards. Just being in your presence, I can tell you just about anything of yourself and don't know you. See? But again, you're proving what I said. The Gemini is the learner. The 12th house is the house ruled by Pisces. Pisces is the psychic. It just knows things. So you can learn something by somebody via that 12th house energy. That is, wow. Wow. I love that. I love that, Queen. Queen, don't forget. Hit me up on Instagram if you're on there, because we need to chat. Hit me up. Scan, folks. Yep. Church, witch, and warlock. Absolutely. Always get rid of religion and live spiritually. That is what the Messiah was teaching. And they got mad at him. The religious establishment got mad at him. You know why? Because once people free their minds, you can't control them and make money off them anymore. You can't control their lives. A lot of these so-called religious men probably would y'all, I don't want this to sound the wrong way. Most I forgive me if I'm saying this wrong or if it comes out, it's not my intent. But a lot of these people in a lot of these positions would basically, like, they feed off of people's energy. They feed off of people giving them energy. And it's like, but the substance isn't there. So it's like they would probably not. They anyway. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. But some of y'all probably know what I'm thinking. So Queen probably know what I'm thinking. Okay. Anyway, my it's my pleasure, Lady Dagger Status. Thank you. Anytime I get to come on here and share with y'all and learn from y'all, it is an honor and a pleasure. It really is. It really is. You are very welcome, Queen. You are very welcome. Most definitely. What's the IG? My IG is Matt D. Talford. I'll put it right here. Yeah, shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM. Okay, y'all. That's about all I got, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here tonight. Don't forget to, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button on your way out. Share this video with somebody that you know is into, they know their natal chart, and you think they might benefit from at least having a heads up on what. Now, having a heads up is not going to, it's not going to determine whether or not the energy shows up. It's going to show up anyway. But we grow when we know. So when you know these things are coming up, y'all, it helps you to grow. It helps you to expand your own. And since we're talking about Gemini, it helps you to expand your knowledge. It helps you to expand your consciousness. You want that expanded consciousness. When the Messiah said greater than when the disciples and the people that would surround them and the passersby and such would marvel at his works, he would say, "Why are y'all marveling what I'm doing?" He said, "Y'all gonna do greater stuff than this." He already knew. He just knew that a lot of them had the gifts in them. They just had to tap into that higher consciousness and then stay there. Stay there. Y'all know I always say on this channel, we attract what lives at the frequency level that we vibrate at. So if you're vibrating in sadness too long, you're going to attract things that keep you sad. Your persistent vibrational, emotional state is a message to the universe that I like being in this energy. Send me more stuff to keep me in it. That's why y'all sometimes, like I'm gonna share this a little bit with y'all today. Today I had to go out. I had to do a lot of things today outside in the home, outside of the office. A lot of times I like to get in the office and just work by myself. I do my best work by myself. Okay. But and maybe that comes from having Aries in the sixth house. Aries is the energy itself. Sixth house is your daily task routines. I do my best work by myself, but sometimes I got to go out and be around people. And I don't like to because I'm a Cancer moon. And sometimes, especially depending on the moon cycle, I could be more prone to absorbing energies that I don't want to absorb. And today I had to just deal with people and deal with people trying to be slick. Just different scenarios I saw today. I'm not gonna get too deep into the details, but then I felt like I had to come home, take my shoes off, even though it was cold AF outside, take my shoes and socks off and go outside and just stand on the raw earth and just meditate and breathe and just ask the Most High to pull those energies out of me and ground me back out. So when I tell y'all, a lot of times you got to be careful with guarding your energy. And, you talk about these leeches and stuff like that. A lot of it, you really have to protect your energy. And I don't even know how I got started on this, but I went out today. I was around a lot. I know what I was going to say now. I was really tired, y'all. I was tired and I was already tired because I woke up at 4:00 in the morning and then tried to go back to sleep. And then I had to get back up. I had to get back up. Then I went to work out this morning, and I just have been tired all day. I don't like to go out and be around people when I'm tired because I know that my arc field is a little bit shrunk because I'm tired and I want to be in the bed. My body wants to be in the bed, but I have to be out. So that makes me a little bit more susceptible to energies. And so the thing that I knew is I can't stay in this frequency. I can't stay in this frequency because if I stay in this frequency, I'm attracting more things to enter my space that live at that frequency range. So I'm gonna say this to y'all: if I could pull a tarot card of choice today, since we are talking about air energy, y'all, with Gemini, I would pull the Four of Swords card for y'all. Y'all go look up the Four of Swords card for those of y'all that don't know what the energy is. I'll give you a brief synopsis. The Four of Swords is a card of rest and recovery. Some of y'all during this Gemini full moon cycle, get in that Four of Swords energy. Get in that energy of rest and recovery. Swords are air, and the swords are the air signs in tarot. The Four of Swords is a card of rest and recovery. Some of y'all get in that Four of Swords energy because then you can recharge. You can recharge, and sleep is one of the best. Sleep and rest is one. Those are some of the best ways to bring your vibrational frequency back up. If you're tired, you're going to be more susceptible to being irritated. Just watch a baby if you don't believe me. When that baby's tired, that baby's he wants to go to bed. He wants to go to bed. He's sleepy. He's tired. So he's irritable. But once that baby goes to sleep, when he wakes up, he's good. A lot of us are the same way. So get that rest, y'all. That's one of the best ways to raise your frequency back up quickly is just to go to sleep and try to get you some good sleep. Get you some magnesium in you. For those of y'all, if it ain't bothering you, if it ain't interacting with any medication, any pharmaceutical you're taking or anything like that, magnesium is great. It is great for helping you rest and recover. So y'all, that's for somebody. Yeah, keep your vibes high, y'all. Keep your vibes high. Let's see. I got some more comments over here. Let's see. Y'all, I got to get better about not leaving those on the screen. She said, I found you were already following. Okay, good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Bernadette said, thank you for this live. As usual, it was very enlightening. Thank you, Bernadette. Your interaction means so much. Y'all, again, I'm going to say it. I said it at the beginning. I'm going to say it again. You guys' encouragement and interaction mean a lot to me. I'm somebody, people who know me closely, they know Matt don't ask for nothing. He'll do it himself before he even asks for help. That's not always a good thing, but I ask for very little. And when people just show their appreciation, it's like me getting a scratch off with $50 or $100 on it or something like that. So, y'all, I appreciate y'all. I really do. Y'all have no idea. Thank y'all for your encouraging words because it really helps me out a lot. It lets me know that I'm doing the right thing. Tap in and know your spark. Exactly. I told myself I would try to tolerate the cold 30-degree ground. I miss grounding and not sure on the mats you plug in. Yeah, I've used those mats, Lady Dagger Status. I've felt like they worked for a while, but I don't know. Sometimes some of y'all vibrate so high. Some of y'all electricity, your inner power, your inner fire is so high. Sometimes y'all wear those electrical devices out. And the best thing for you to do is just get in nature. I'm speaking for myself there. So I had some grounding mats and they seemed to work great early on. And then after a while, it just felt like it was just a piece of paper. I'm like, man, I must have dried this thing up. And I just stopped using them. But the earth don't never fail me. The earth don't never fail me. Especially in the springtime, you can go out there and just, put a towel down or something like that. Just lay on your back on the ground or something like that. It's just beautiful. I love grounding. I'm with you on that. I haven't tried the shoes. I have the mat, not the shoes. So I would love to try grounding mat where they are. Where are they? You can order them online. Cassandra said, Matt, I keep Mojo Bag and my Sage and Palo Santo on me. And when I come out of stores and light up in the parking lot and command and demand any and all attachments to depart. You know what? Thank you for saying that, Cassandra. I wrote a script and pinned it to my refrigerator that just a script that I used to call my power back to me. And then I got away from it. And it's right there in the refrigerator. I need to get back into the practice of, and see there again, we're talking about Gemini. Look what's happening, y'all. Knowledge sharing. That's leading to growth. Y'all see what I mean? Knowledge sharing. You just shared something with me that's putting me back in that higher state of consciousness. Right there, I got Gemini in my ninth. See that? Y'all get to see the stuff real time sometimes, I'm telling you. So, Cassandra, thank you for saying that. That reminds me to call my power back at the end of every day before I go to bed. Thank you. So, and when I come back in the house. Thank you so much. Thank you. I just ground to land and water for me. Yeah. I like to sit close to a body of water too. That also helps. She says she wants to try the grounding mats. So no snow yet, but I think 5 minutes and then see about doing more each day. Nothing is going to be better than natural, I guess. That is true. It really is. Yep. See, always call your power back and essence back. Yep. Thank y'all. See, I told y'all, man, y'all help me as much as I help y'all. Thank y'all so much. So with that, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all again, tap the like button on your way out if you haven't done so. If you're new to the channel and you like being entertained, I was about to say upgraded. Maybe somebody needs to be upgraded. Entertained, educated, uplifted, and inspired. Hit that subscribe button. Y'all, I got a new channel again. It's called Matty T's Twin Flame Guidance. But I can see the case for it expanding and just being more general next year. I never know what direction the Most High is going to lead me in. I'm just here for it. I'm here for it. So I jokingly say this a lot. I came to Earth for the free food. Matt, why did you come to Earth? Oh, man, I'm just here for the free food. The rest of the stuff I don't care about. I'm here for the free food. And that ain't even good anymore lately. That's a story for another day. Maybe we'll save that for another video. But yeah, y'all can check that out. Matty T's Twin Flame Guidance. For those of y'all that are on that journey, if you consider yourself to be a twin flame, divine masculine, divine feminine, or high-level soulmate, there's probably going to be some messages over there for you. I think I can see the case for me integrating a little more tarot over here. I don't see me being the person that do the big spreads, even though I've got some friends, some close friends that I've done personal readings for upon request. They've asked me and they're like, yo, wow, that was accurate. Boom, boom, boom. But over on Matty T's Twin Flame Guidance, I'll pull a single card to read the energy, and then I'll pull an advice card, and that's pretty much it. Okay. And then on Mondays, I do divine feminines. Typically on Wednesdays, I do divine masculine. I missed it today because I was too busy. But that for those of y'all that watch me here and there, that divine masculine read will be online tomorrow afternoon. So look forward over there tomorrow. And then Fridays, I do or I should say weekends, because Fridays, last Friday's All Signs reading ended up being published on Saturday. So it just depends on how the flow of the reading's going, because I do 24 different reading, 24, not really 24, 36. Because I'll do a divine masculine for each sign, a divine feminine for each sign, and then I'll pull like an oracle card. But last week I shortened it because I did a single oracle card, but I just go by the spirit. I let the spirit move me, however the flow goes. But y'all go check that out. If you're just interested, you're curious, you can check it out. But I could probably see the case for me doing maybe a little bit of integration of tarot over here. I thought about doing some yes, no questions for maybe we'll do something one Friday night for fun or something like that as the year starts to wind down. We'll see how things go. I won't make any promises because I don't want to not deliver on it. So that's about all I got for y'all. Listen, stay authentic, y'all. Stay authentic. I feel like some major issues going to go down in 2026. I do, but it ain't nothing to be worried about, because we've been hearing about this great divide, this great separation, this division, the separation of the wheat and tare. We've been seeing it in little pieces, little stages. I think it's going gangbusters in 2026. I think it is going gangbusters in 2026. And that's just based on my interpretation of the astrology and some astrological transits that we're going to see take place in February. Y'all been hearing me talk about February since the summer. We're going to see. We're going to see, y'all. We're going to see. So, as you might hear walking down the street in New York, hey, we're going to see. We're going to see what's going to go down in 2026. We're going to see. It don't matter to me, because I'm still going to be sitting there. I'm going to eat something and I'm going to wash it. I don't care. Whatever happens, I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat. I know. If I don't do nothing else, I'm going to eat. Okay? So whatever's going down, I'm going to be eating. I'm just telling you, I like to eat. All right? So, and I like to work out too, because the way I like to eat, I got to work out. Anyway, yeah, y'all. So, but stay authentic. Stay authentic, because authenticity is the only way. The destiny that is looking for you, that has your name and your energetic frequency signature attached to it, it's the only way it can find you. Don't listen to anybody talk about no destiny swapping and all of that. Nobody can have what's yours. If it's yours, if you listen to somebody that's low vibrational, they could probably delay its delivery, but they can't have it. If somebody could take what was yours, that would make them better than the Most High. Who you know better than the Most High? Thank you. Thank you. Okay? All right. So nobody can ever have your destiny, but for you to have it, you got to be authentic. Because you're not looking for your destiny. Your destiny's looking for you. And it can only find you when two conditions are met. Number one, divine timing. And two, you're being authentic. All right? That's all I got for y'all. I love y'all so much. She said second channel name again, please. Let me put it in the chat for you there. Maddie T's Twin Flame Guidance. Again, I'm thinking about changing that name, Queen. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. But for now, I'm going to stick with that name, and we'll see where it goes with it. I don't know why I feel like sometimes this platform shadow BANs some people, and they don't want people's stuff to show. But you can't stop the work of the Most High, because whoever's supposed to hear it always does. So hold that, ops. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to wrap it up. I love y'all. Y'all have a great rest. I was about to say weekend. Y'all see how time is going? We're on Thursday's Eve, but I'm thinking this is Friday, and it ain't even Thursday yet. It's the eve of Thursday. It's Wednesday for about another hour and a half. Y'all, I'm telling you, time is flying. It literally is flying right now. But y'all have a great rest of your week, and I'm hoping I can come back on here this week and get with y'all again, because I've missed y'all. I have. I've taken some pretty lengthy hiatuses, and I'm spending a lot more time. Or well, not a lot more time. I'm just staying true to my my word, which is to do 3 video posts a week on Maddie T's Twin Flame Guidance. So I've been pretty consistent with that. I have been consistent with it. I feel like some of the stuff I've been doing over here is lessened a little bit, but y'all know how these things go. So I've been telling y'all for years, I feel like a lot of the voices that you've been hearing that have been inspiring you, at some point, the Most High was going to start to pull those back. I'm feeling that happening now. I'm feeling it happening. So, but y'all know what it is. Y'all know the vibes. Listen, when this side ends, we just going to party on the other side. So I'm gonna see y'all on the other side whenever this side ends. It's gonna end for all of us at the same time. I think. I keep saying there's a work stoppage coming. I'm waiting for that one because your boy want to get with his family and go fishing. I want to get with my cousins, my brothers, and go fishing. I have not done that. We have not done that as a group in so long. And there's nothing, fellas, any of y'all fellas watching, y'all know it ain't nothing like fishing with your boys. And even in the ladies, look, let me say this too. I used to love going fishing with Boss Lady and her mom. Because a lot of times they be beating me. I'm like, oh man, don't fish are prejudice against men. Why? How y'all hitting and putting more fish in the bucket than me? So I like fishing, period. Male or female, I don't care. As long as you know what you're doing. Don't come over, like you scared to take the fish off the line, though. I would help you anyway. Take it off the line and put the worm on the hook. Because the fun is catching it. The fun is catching it. So if I put the worm on the hook or whatever tackle we're using, minnows or shrimp or whatever, if I put it on there, worms, whatever, I'll put it on the hook for you. You catch it, I'll take the fish off. The fun is catching it. The fun is feeling that little tug on the line and reeling it in. So anyway, man, I want to get to wherever home is and go fishing and have a good time. So anyway, man, I love y'all, man. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day, man. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Love y'all. Peace.